All right, welcome back. If you've been with us this far, you know that we're starting to explore the ISV faraway here, just did very early. This is only turn 2. I already did the first half of turn 2. This is part 2 because I wanted to do combat. So you see that we've got here a zombie and here we've got a bone thrall. Those are pretty basic monsters. In general, the monsters are, I tried to construct it so that the monsters kind of got tougher as you get further along. I mean, that's not perfect. There's some surprises, but in general, the further you go, the tougher the monsters get, the further down in the ship you get. And these are sort of your entry level monsters. They don't have any psychic ability. They just try to rip your face off, you know, good old fashioned stuff. So we are actually in the combat phase right now. So let's go ahead and talk about this really quick. I'm going to go ahead and I'll do the zombie fight first. So we've got Jacob and we've got Topper. Now, Topper is marked with an Overwatch marker. Now, he doesn't get any special attack because of that, but if a monster spawns in your space like this, the monster could potentially, if he wins initiative, is like a surprise, he gets an ambush attack, which is in the highest column, so it increases the risk of somebody getting hurt. In this case, he can't do that to Topper, but he could potentially ambush Jacob because Jacob can't be on Overwatch because he's not a soldier. So even though he's a good fighter, Jacob, he's the best fighter for all the specialists or the consultants, but he doesn't have the same abilities as the soldiers unless you want to give them to him because you like him or something. I won't say anything because I think it's fair that he has some special abilities. Anyway, so the first thing that you do is you have to roll for initiative, and to make it simple, you just can either roll combat, or if you have a revealed psych value, you can roll that. And his combat is also, no, that's not him. So one of these guys, combat. So we have a 6, basically. Regardless of what we do, we have a 6. And you can choose if you want to use psych. That means that you're like almost like, say, getting an early, you know, like you're sensing the enemy. Or if you're using combat, it's because you're so awesome at just like moving tactically and stuff that you detect the enemy. So in this case, you have to roll a 6 or less, and we rolled a 6. So we get initiative, and that's good. There's no psych combat here. So what we would do is we just take our handy dandy attack value of 6, and I'll go ahead and do Topper first. And then the zombie has a combat value of 3. We look over here at character attacks. These are a little bit different. It's a little bit, the character attacks do more damage because I wanted to wipe the monsters out faster. So we're going to be on the +3 column here. So you just roll your handy dandy die, get a 5, and that is a hit on the zombie. Okay. So same thing. I'll just put I'll put a marker on him. Also note that I actually have playing pieces for the zombies. I can show you over here. I have, you know, so if I wanted to, I could replace that if that zombie decides to come running or something. But anyway, generally, if the monster's not running around the ship, I just use the token. It's the same thing. But anyway, so he has 1 hit. And then Jacob, same thing. Jacob has a 6 to his 3, so that's also on the 3 column. And he rolled a 9, which is a critical. Now, this is in real time, folks, by the way. I'm not cheating. This is great, though. So he gets a critical, which is about right. And this is close combat, so this is not ranged combat. So we look at the close combat critical hits. Jacob rolls a 2, which is kind of sucky, but anyway, 2 hits. Actually, well, no, because these guys zombies have 3 hits, so he goes up to 3 damage. Not enough to kill him, so he'll stick around till the next round. But anyway, now the zombie is going to attack. And he's at -3, -2 or less. And that's on purpose because I didn't want them to be too easy people to be too easy to kill. And these are 2 of my toughest guys too, by the way. So generally, again, at random, I would just pick one guy. So even or odd will be Topper, even is Jacob. So odd sets Topper, and then the zombie attacks. He rolls a 2, and that's a miss. Same thing here against the Bone Thrall. Both of these guys are considered soldiers. They're on Overwatch, so they cannot be ambushed. It doesn't matter. And Giggles has a combat also of 6, and which I think is the best. So we'll just roll 6 for him. He rolled a 1. I'm not cheating. I got a 1. So we get, and again, the Bone Thralls also have a 3. So he's going to have an attack on the 3 column. And that's a 4, which is barely a hit, but we'll take it. Bone thralls are not particularly tough. And then the drone will also attack first. He has a 5, so he only gets a 1 to 2 column, but that's okay. And he rolled a 3, and that'll be a miss. So when you do initiative, all of one side gets to attack. Again, that's just for simplicity's sake. I mean, that's just to keep things easy. And then the Bone Thrall will attack again randomly. So let's see, he attacks 8. That'll be the drone. So because we'll do odd, even, like we did before. That's consistent. I'm not cheating. So then that means that he gets, it's the same thing either way. It's a -2 or less. So he will attack, roll a 7, and still that's a miss at -2. So I know that it seems probably, you go like, what's the point? This is like pretty easy. Hits are accumulate, they do accumulate quickly, and they're hard to get rid of. So once you start getting damage, it gets to be, this is like turn 2 of the game, remember. So I didn't want these early monsters to be too tough. And also, they're not supposed to be tough against the soldiers. If they get loose, if they get past them or spawn, say, at one of these sites, because they can do that with cards, and they get over here where there's, well, they have patches, but who's a soldier? But they can do a lot of damage. So you have to guard your people, and that's one of the things to consider. So anyway, that is combat. We're at 6 minutes. So there's these will hold over until the next round of combat, which would be next turn. In the meantime, nobody can move. There is an option to withdraw, but there's no reason for us to. You can try to get away if you want to. We're not going to mess with that because I might show it later just to run through it, but I want to kill these guys. And so I'm not going to do a regroup phase. You can't anyway when there's a monster on the board, so you'd have to clear these guys out first. So that means that we come over here to our timer and we move it down to 38. And we are about to start turn 3. All right, thanks for watching.